All right, guys. I am Kelly, K to the E, double L-I-E. Kelly, that's me from Why I Killed You TV. Guys, let me make sure that this audio is working. That's what I got to do. I got to make sure the audio is working before we get too far ahead. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for coming up in this camp. I greatly appreciate it. And you know what? I have to send a shout out to Deanna, because Deanna been holding this down. Guys, been holding it down for me. Because, guys, I tell you, I have been working like a dog. So I greatly appreciate y'all coming up in here. Let me just check this audio, guys. And we're going to get this started. Okay. Audio is working. So we're going to be talking about these two cases. Of course, guys, we're going to be talking about David D4vd because he is the #1 Google person as of 2026 for the unalive and the little Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And another individual we're going to be talking about today is Alexis Gabe, 24 years old, out of Oakley, California. And evidently, guys, there's a great possibility that she has been unalived by her ex-boyfriend. It wasn't even a current boyfriend, by her ex-boyfriend, Marshall Jones III. He has a middle name. Middle name is Curtis. So Marshall Curtis Jones III was her ex-boyfriend. And guys, he was 27 years old. She has been missing since January the 26th of 2022. So we gonna get off into that here in a little bit as well. So guys, let's get this ball started, guys. Make sure, guys, you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. But we gonna get off into this video, guys, because this is beyond weird. All right, check it out.
2021 game came out in 2017. I was one of the first people to ever play the game. My goal on Fortnite.
First person? How?
I had like this small group of friends that would literally spend 8 hours a day looking for the newest games that were released on PlayStation.
Okay.
And I was playing Fortnite Season 1, like had all the passes, everything. Okay, boom. I have all these followers. I make music. I also play Fortnite.
And were you taking music seriously at all or not?
Dude,
really?
no. I couldn't care less.
You were just like, oh,
he's a weirdo.
This is like a cool meme thing. If I keep making these like Alvin things, people are gonna download them,
dude,
and like stream me, and then I'll figure out, and then maybe they'll want to watch my like
it worked,
my
though.
Like music, like my like video game shit.
Exactly, and it worked because like they weren't listening to my music from the Alvin thing; they were watching my videos.
Inside the garage, detectives discovered evidence consistent with what happened to the victim's body, the rendering in the inflatable pool. They find biological samples positive for blood collected in the garage. DNA confirms it matches victim Celeste.
Celeste was trying to get the ring back to David, and he wouldn't take it. She was like trying to cut free from this guy. Of course, you know, she's being groomed, so she's still got this thing, you know, where she's having trouble doing it. But
it's surprising news given the district attorney's office held a press conference this morning where they discussed the cause of death, apparently under seal and not released by the coroner's office, as did the robbery homicide unit to the press. So we would again reiterate, we believe that Mr. Burke is entitled to discovery. We have served the people with notice. They have 15 days to produce discovery in this case. We would ask that they do that in conscientious earnestness and as quickly as possible.
No, I think.
You know what, guys? This is the first time I actually heard Steve Fisher sit up there and say that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was trying to get away from David D4vd, and she was trying to return the ring that he gave her. This was the first time, from what I understand, guys, she was still feeling him. That is the reason why she jumped her little ass in the Uber, because David D4vd sent for her. She was in Lake Elsinore, guys. They were texting each other, arguing. And guys, the whole thing in a nutshell, she was putting his career in jeopardy. What's up, Justice in the house? Anyway, she was putting his career in jeopardy. They were texting each other. So evidently he was in the Hollywood Hills. She was in Lake Elsinore. They were texting each other. And somehow he convinced her to jump her little ass in an Uber. Okay, so from what I was understanding, that they were still liking each other, but Steve Fisher just finished saying that she was trying to get rid of his monkey behind.
That it's going to have to take its course. But I have to say, Ted, there are two things based on the reporting that's out there that are very wobbly and odd to me. As, again, a person who's investigated these cases, I've had bodies in the trunk cases where the person driving the vehicle was not the person who committed the homicide. So prosecutors have to make connections here. And this poor young woman whose body was decomposed and deteriorated, what we are hearing from other news outlets and maybe Court TV as well, is that the medical examiner and prosecutors are in a battle with one another because the medical examiner is not giving the prosecutor the cause of death that they would prefer.
All the information that we've seen recently, especially that live stream where you catch him on a hot mic to what it sounds like him confessing to the unaliving of Celeste Rivas with Neo. I call him Neon, but I know his name is Neo. Where you have Neo and the other Celeste in another room while these other girls are live streaming.
I'm going to tell you something, guys. I have presented you guys with a video of these little girls. I call them little girls, guys. They were probably in their 20s, but they little girls to me. Evidently, guys, they were in the bathroom at David D4vd's house. And evidently, one of them, by the name of Secure, who I believe I'm saying her name probably incorrectly. But anyway, she was in the bathroom and she sat up there and said that she helped David D4vd unalive little Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Those girls that was in that bathroom, guys, trust and believe. Trust and believe, guys. They are going to be called to talk in this particular case.
And they're getting dressed in D4vd's bathroom. View myself that proverbial lens, because life is often like that, like life imitating art and art imitating life. You live, you experience, and you wither. But most importantly, you have to cherish those experiences that either stay or go. In this song specifically, I speak on every time I stayed through thick and thin in the relationship this album represents. Every time she crossed the line, I stayed by her side, even going as far as...
Okay, what the hell? She crossed the line. What the hell? She ain't your child. What the hell are you talking about? She crossed the line. Guys, you cannot tell me, besides the SA that was going on between little Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David D4vd, I am thinking that there was a great possibility he was getting physical with her. There have been some still pictures of David D4vd and little Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and evidently in some of those pictures, it looked like David had like a black eye and a busted lip in some of those pictures.
To let the love kill me. And even then, still loving her after death.
He removed her limbs. He dismembered her with a chainsaw, one of two that he had ordered online. They also say he ordered a shovel, a cadaver bag, and other materials using a fake name, Victoria Mendez, and had them delivered to his Hollywood Hills home after the murder. They say he also ordered something called a burn cage. That's to burn evidence. The decomposed torso and head of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez were found in September inside a cadaver bag in the trunk of the Tesla that belongs to Burke.
Weirdo.
A plastic garbage bag was under the cadaver bag with her arms and legs.
I'm from Queens, New York. I'm in Houston now.
Nobody cares.
A gamer. I love video games. I wanted to be a professional gamer before music. That's actually what pushed.
This dumb motherfucker right here. He ordered cadaver bags, shovel, chainsaw, and inflatable plastic pool. And some of that was in his own name. And then when he got little Celeste Rivas Hernandez to come from Lake Elsinore after they had been arguing and texting each other all night, he ordered the damn Uber off his own phone that had his damn credit card information on it. See what I'm saying, guys? And some of you come up to me and you sit up there and you email me, oh, you laughing at little Celeste Rivas Hernandez? No, I am not laughing at her. I'm laughing at these dumb motherfuckers who think they can get away with something like this. This shit is comical to me. Okay? And I've said this before, gonna say it again. Okay? Because California got this dumb ass, stupid ass law about if you are caught concealing an unalive body, all you're gonna have to pay is a $10,000 fine and spend 1 year in prison. There is some mofos that could do that with their damn eyes closed.
Me into music was getting copyright strikes on YouTube, and I kind of just used my own music in my montages after my mom told me to, because I was crying to her about it.
In the back of my mind,
Jesus,
I killed you.
Weird, right?
And I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it.
Me neither, you weird.
But it's true.
Everybody that knows her, that cares about her, and I'm sure people who have heard on the news are hoping for the same thing.
Sad.
Justice for the little girl and the parents, too.
Flowers, teddy bears, Hello Kitty, the kind of things a young teenager might like.
They got
21-year-old singer David pleading not guilty to murder in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body found dismembered and decomposed inside a Tesla.
The wheels are all beat up. There's a huge dent in the back.
She had been involved in a sexual relationship
Disgusting.
with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult.
All the booty in the world. You want to be in romper room. I've seen your concerts on YouTube. I've seen how many women was at the concerts throwing panties at you. And you worry about little Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was just 10 years old when you met her on, I think it was the TikTok or the Fortnite gaming website. I do not understand that for the life of me. Those of you who are not familiar with the case, David D4vd and little Celeste Rivas Hernandez met on the freaking internet when she was 10 and he was 15, 16 years old. Okay, they became upfront and personal, having S to the E to the X, roughly, when she turned about 13 years old. This whole thing in a nutshell, and I said it before. The little Celeste Rivas Hernandez, in my opinion, grew up too fast. Evidently, David D4vd was not her first freaking boyfriend. She had a boyfriend named Gus, and Gus was even older than David D4vd. And guess what? Gus was a family friend. Okay, this is freaking weird to me.
I don't know if you can play prosecutor for a minute. If you're the prosecution, what are your concerns right now? What are you trying to accomplish in this window here?
Well, I think that the prosecution has done exactly what I expected them to do. The first thing they did, once the defense said we're ready to go, we're not going to waive time, they then got on the record and they started talking about child porn and that there are wiretaps and that there are 40 terabytes. And I jokingly said I'm old enough to remember when I didn't know what a terabyte was, and a worth of discovery that they dumped on the defense. And so if I'm the prosecution, that's the kind of thing. And also they stated child porn.
Tina, what in the hell are you talking about? Welcome, Tina, here to Why I Killed You TV. I don't think I've ever seen you before. So Tina said upstairs, she sits up here and says, if the fingers fit, you can't acquit. What in the hell? Tina, what are you talking about? The whole thing in a nutshell. And guys, my information is here. I have my email. I have my Venmo. I have my Cash App. Guys, make sure you go ahead and comment, share, subscribe, and push that doggone notification button. And guys, please go ahead and like this particular video because that helps with the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. The whole thing in a nutshell. This is so sad. And people were sitting up here thinking that it was a great possibility that, guess what, David D4vd might have been framed. How in the hell was he framed when the very same finger that was tattooed that had his name on it, that was taken off of her hand? It was sawed off her hand. If he was framed, whoever was framing him, according to some of y'all, whoever was framing him, guess what? They would have kept that damn finger on there because they wanted the popo to hurry up and get it back to David's hands. Okay, you wouldn't saw the very finger that had his damn name on it if it was framed. This is how I know there's a great possibility, guys, allegedly, because I am not trying to get sued, that David D4vd did this. Okay, guys, the views expressed in my videos are my opinions and my opinions only. Take it or like it, do whatever the hell you want to do with it. I greatly appreciate it if you go ahead, like, comment, share, and subscribe.
On the phones, specifically, I think to kind of taint the jury pool.
Because just recently, David was arrested in connection with the case, which sent shockwaves across social media and raised even more questions. But now, after all this time, the case against David is starting to become a lot clearer. We now know that he's now facing a first-degree murder charge, and now we actually have his mugshot. Let's just take a second and really look at this. We now also have what they say was the motive, a timeline of what allegedly happened, and the evidence they claim to have.
That the financial gain is she was a witness to something, and if it got out, it would ruin his career. And killing her was a way of preventing that. So when you kind of connect the dots and put the pieces together, it seems what the DA is.
So he unalived her, allegedly, because she was about to rat his monkey behind out. Evidently, David was already under investigation for some child porn. Guys, I can't say the word. Put a P on the corn, and that's what it is. Evidently, he had terabytes of videos and still pictures of children on his phone. Okay, and evidently they had tapped his phone. Okay, so they were listening to everything his ass did. And guys, David and his little friends, his little entourage, that's all they did was stay on the freaking internet. Guys, they are taking all these freaking videos that David had on TikTok, on Fortnite. Guys, they're going to take all of that shit and they're going to bring it to court. Trust and believe that's what's about to happen to David D4vd.
Is alleging is that Celeste was a witness to the fact that she was having sex with David. In other words, she's not just a witness, she is involved. And that she had percipient knowledge, as we say, of the circumstances.
Huge online right now, ton of interest. The singer has been in the spotlight ever since the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was allegedly discovered in the trunk of this Tesla, or his Tesla. And the pair were supposedly in a relationship, although that wasn't confirmed by authorities. When police found Celeste's body in a Los Angeles tow yard in early September, talking about how far back this goes, initial reports indicated that her body wasn't just decomposed, that it had been dismembered. Today, we may have finally gotten confirmation of that disturbing detail, and also official confirmation that there is a real, active criminal case against David for a charge of murder.
About Robert Morgenroth, who is the general.
My whole thing in a nutshell. People are saying that it was David's idea to unalive little Celeste Rivas Hernandez, throw her in the front of the Tesla, leave her outside of his mansion in the front of the Tesla so she can decompose even more. Because of the elements, it was hot. Guys, this roughly happened in August or September. This was his final plan. And then evidently, guys, he parked that Tesla right outside of the mansion where he paid $20,000 a month. See, this guy, he wasn't arriving. He had already arrived. He was doing the damn thing. But evidently, this was his plan. And guys, this is the dumbass plan. You're going to leave her decomposing body parts in the front of the Tesla, and then you're going to park that car right outside your mansion, and then you're going to put an air freshener on the rearview mirror because, guys, he already knew it was going to be a funky-ass smell coming out of that car. You're going to jump your ass on the tour bus. And so your plan was to come back later after the tour and do something with her body? This is weird. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
General manager of Mogul Vision, which is David's music label. He was also the president of Zara Brothers Travel LLC. Now, we spoke about his testimony before the grand jury in the courtroom. We have some producers who were in the hallway outside of that courtroom who caught some conversation between Morgenroth and his lawyer. Morgenroth told his lawyer that the judge inside of that courtroom was questioning him on why he didn't call the police. Now, we can only guess what the judge was asking him about, but we can conjecture that it was Celeste Rivas and why he didn't call the police regarding something that had to do with the events leading up to her death.
That, you know, the defense is going to just grill the...
Guys, I've had the same suspects for quite some time. It's been David D4vd. It's been his little brother, Caleb. It has been his little friend, Neo, because we already know they had a peculiar relationship up in the camp. It seems like there was some type of homosexual relationship between David and Neo. Okay. It has been his touring manager, Robert Morgenroth. because evidently Robert often stayed at the mansion with David D4vd. And then he had another manager, and his name was Josh Marshall. Those have been my 5 people the whole time. Now I see these little girls giggling in the damn bathroom. And I am thinking that it is a great possibility that it could have been Secure. And I think her name is Shakur, or whatever her damn name is, guys. I can't pronounce it. Okay, evidently she is some type of online influencer. I'm thinking it might have been her, and I'm thinking that it is a great possibility it could have been his friend Asia as well.
He's the medical examiner and the police department and ask, what changed? Why did you have such trouble for 2.5 months? And then a month later, you call it a homicide, but you can't definitively say she was stabbed.
There you go.
So where in the timeline was it when you reported specifically LAPD said we're not even sure a crime was committed?
Yeah, it confirmed some of it. We didn't know everything. Let's be honest about that. But, we did find a chainsaw. We found a burn.
And I sat up there and said, guys, I am not sure how far along in the game we would be without Steve Fisher. This is Steve Fisher right here, talking right here. Okay? I am not sure. Guys, I am not here to down the police, but I think the LAPD dropped the ball. Because guess what? Guess what? Right across the street from David D4vd's mansion was his neighbors, and his neighbors had some serious cameras. And evidently they told LAPD that there was a great possibility that they might have camera footage of David's home and the Tesla. And that's the whole thing I want to see. I want to see that doggone Tesla video footage. That's exactly what I want to see. Because, guys, if that comes out, from what I understand, and I ain't too familiar with Teslas, but from what I understand, there is a way that you can deactivate the cameras on the Tesla. Now, if that is the case, we probably won't have any video footage of David D4vd allegedly putting little Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body inside of that Tesla. But I am praying that that is not the case. So when the LAPD found out about the neighbors' cameras, guys, they never came back. That's weird.
Gage, and we knew that they were ordered in the name of this Victoria Mendez. We disclosed that it was, in a fake name, and but we didn't know if that was a real person or not. However, all these things, and there was more things that were delivered to the house in that name, and we couldn't get past the chainsaw or the burn cage. Just there was no reasonable use to have it there, and now we find out that it does appear like they played a role.
We have people admitting to literal murder in our.
Okay, why is this shit funny? See what I'm saying? Asia is weird and I'm fucker. Asia is weird. Why is she laughing about this? Asia Collins, who was David D4vd's good friend, evidently at first, guys, she is pretending like she didn't even know who Celeste was. And then later on, she's like, oh yeah, I remember her. Isn't she like the 19-year-old college student? David was trying to make everybody believe that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez was 19 and that she was in college. Okay, but she had been hanging around y'all, Asia. And now, a light bulb that went off in your head. And now all of a sudden, you remember who little Celeste Rivas Hernandez is. And now you're going to sit up in here and say, justice for Celeste, knowing damn well that there's a great possibility that you might be involved in this whole thing, too.
Oh, bro, I'm a gooner.
You a gooner, all right.
It's been a long wait trying to understand what really happened to Celeste Rivas. And for a long time, there haven't been many clear answers. But now, a video that's resurfacing online is making people look back at this case in a very different way. Because according to a lot of people watching this closely, that clip suggests Asia Collins may have known about Celeste unaliving before it happened. That's where the internet filled in the gaps. Even though no names were ever released, people online started wondering if Asia could be the witness that was being talked about. Nothing has been confirmed yet, though. There have also been no updates saying whether the witness was arrested or eventually testified, and that lack of answers is exactly why people started looking harder at everyone connected to the situation. The only person people think might have known something early on. Fisher has also claimed that David's manager, Josh Marshall, received an email while Celeste Rivas was...
See, Josh Marshall, in my opinion, guys, even though he's one of my suspects, I'm sort of kind of believing he didn't have anything to do with this because guess what? And I'm paraphrasing like a mofo. I'm paraphrasing. Josh Marshall sat up there and said that he had a daughter that could have been little Celeste Rivas Hernandez's age. And when he said that, that made me think that it was a great possibility he was saying that, hey, if I would have known that they were having a relationship, I would have intervened. Okay? This is the reason why I don't think that Josh Marshall had anything to do with it.
Still missing. According to Fisher, the email included a missing person photo of Celeste and urged that David be told to take her home if there was any truth to the rumors. The message allegedly said, there's been talk that the artist David possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home.
You mean to tell me that David made a music video showing how he did this to his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Body parts missing? Oh yeah, you wanted to get caught. At least when OJ admitted it, he called the book If I Did It. This
Not
video was
OJ.
called How I Did It. Oh yeah, they gonna line up taking turns with you in prison like pencil sharpening at the front of a classroom.
And I've said this before, guys. I've said this before. David D4vd has already revealed to us what he did to little Celeste Rivas Hernandez, guys. It's in his music, it's in his lyrics, it's in his videos. He has already revealed what the hell he did to little Celeste Rivas Hernandez. However, we have to decipher what the hell happened. It's weird.
David, whose real name is David Burke, is a 21-year-old artist who has pled not guilty to multiple charges tied to the murder of a 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, which has been officially ruled as a homicide. Right now, he's being held without bail at the Los Angeles County Men's Central Jail, and he's reportedly been placed in segregation, meaning he's separated from the general population. That's usually done for safety reasons, especially in high-profile cases like this. Now, tomorrow's hearing is critical. A preliminary hearing is where prosecutors have to prove there's enough evidence for this case to even go to trial.
I think there is a problem in the prosecution's case against David the singer. Let me explain. The grand jury has been hearing this case for 5 months, since November. Beth Silverman, the DA, has been presenting witness after witness after witness to this grand jury to get a grand jury indictment. We know that there has been a dogfight between the DA's office and the medical examiner over cause of death that we are told and have been told for a long time after Celeste Rivas's body was found that they were having a very difficult time establishing cause of death.
And there's also a mountain of evidence.
Break it down.
I media trained you.
Now, see, when he talks about that, I media trained you. Evidently, Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David D4vd was on some type of live Discord. Okay? And evidently, she sat up there and said, and I'm paraphrasing, that he likes to grape children. He likes to grape kids. Okay? And then immediately David said, oh, no, delete this, delete this. Guys, I am thinking that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez knew more than what she was saying, and that she knew that David D4vd had a fetish for children. I've said this over and over again, gonna say it again. Little Celeste Rivas Hernandez entered his Discord, and the name of his Discord was called David's Closet. Entered his Discord when she was 10 years old. So when she was 10, she was corresponding with people inside the Discord. When she was 11, corresponding. When she was 12, up there corresponding. When she was 13, she was up in there corresponding. But guys, when she turned 14, something got shaky in her mofo. Something got shaky because she got up in there, and guys, I'm paraphrasing. She got up in that Discord and she said, I am a minor. I'm 14 years old. And that was my first clue that it was a great possibility that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez was going to rat out David D4vd for the inappropriate relationship that they were having.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
See?
And that's the first thing I want to address when we're looking at this case. So the first thing we get to is the cause of death. And this is Celeste dying by being stabbed by an object that caused 2 penetrating wounds to her torso
Disgusting.
and caused a liver injury. Toxicology found she was presumptively positive for benzos and meth, MDMA, that's ecstasy as well.
How is she positive for all of this shit? She hanging out with you and she's 13 years old. How is that possible? Okay, I've said this before. Little Celeste Rivas Hernandez did not have a childhood. In between her first boyfriend, Gus, who was a family friend and way older than David D4vd. He is now unalive. I'm not really sure what the hell happened to Gus. And David D4vd. Between those two guys, she did not have a childhood. Okay, and even though her parents have been cleared of any wrongdoing, something is wrong up in the camp. How is your young daughter having 2 boyfriends before she is even 13 freaking years old?
I have personally spoken to witnesses who told me David used hard drugs with them. Well, this is definitely believable. Obviously, if you're going to the murder level, then obviously if you're willing to murder somebody, then obviously using drugs would not be a far stretch from there.
I observed the descendant's posterior head and torso lying prone in a body bag inside the front trunk of a Tesla. Her head was oriented towards the north. She appeared of intermediate age and ethnicity and dark hair and natural teeth. She was wearing a tube top, underwear, leggings, and socks. I observed multiple holes in the front and back of the tube top. She was missing both arms above the elbow and both legs above the knees. Underneath the body bag was a black trash bag that contained the descendant's apparent compiled bilateral arms and legs. They appeared to have been dismembered into several fragments.
What in the hell did she do to deserve all of this? Beheaded, chopped, head cut off, limbs cut off, fingers cut off. What in the hell did she do to deserve this? David D4vd, he was already under investigation. Okay, so what? She was threatening you. I would have told her, good luck, Celeste, trying to prove that. Now you got a murder case on your ass. This is crazy.
The descendant was in an advanced state of decomposition demonstrated by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction, insect activity.
Some of the fact that he was currently on tour at the time and had been on tour for months, far away from the crime scene. And even after news had broken to the public that a body was found in a car registered to his name, he would still be spotted performing on tour later that night and seemingly fairly unfazed by the whole ordeal. Now, around that same time, probably as he was performing, the internet has started to make their speculations. A Reddit user had posted a very eerie comment in response to all the news.
This guy's a weirdo. A close friend's little sister ran away last year, and this is who she was with. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD swept this place in the hills. I'm terrified that that's who's in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release any names as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore.
Prosecutors will decide whether to file charges.
His attorneys released a statement saying, David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
What?
And was not the cause of her death. So right now, his team is flat out denying everything, which means...
Guys, put a 1 in the comments if you think that David D4vd did this. And put a 2 in the comments if you think that he did not do it. Put a 1 in the comments if you think he did it. And a 2 in the comments if you think he didn't. Okay, guys, my contact information is right there. My email, my Venmo, and my Cash App. Guys, please make sure to go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and push that doggone notification button. I do not understand how his attorneys are sitting up here and saying that David D4vd didn't have anything to do with it. And so David has recently hired Blair Burke, who is his attorney, but evidently they are saying that there's a great possibility that Blair might be way over her head. Okay, she has defended people like Mel Gibson, Queen Latifah, the stupid ass Kanye West, and that Epstein. I'm sorry, Weinstein, not Epstein, but Weinstein. And guys, she has defended a lot of people, and she has been very successful at it. But people are starting to think that she is way in over her head with this particular case.
What they have behind the scenes must be strong enough to make an arrest.
Today, I am announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4vd, in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. that is first-degree murder with special circumstances.
One word, Nancy, hemorrhage. That's what they're going to be looking for.
And this motherfucker sitting around here selling these ugly ass bloody shirts. And people were thinking there was a great possibility it might have been blood on the shirts. But I do not believe that, guys, because blood has a tendency to stink after a while. And you can see in some of his video footage, guys, he is putting paint. He's dipping his hand in paint and putting blood on it. What would look to be blood, but it's actually paint on these shirts. Guys, this guy was morbid like a motherfucker. Okay? He was morbid. This is the type of shit he likes to do. The guy was weird.
Blood spattered shirts. That tells me that there was a bit of a glorification of the eventual slaughter.
And
Oh my God.
on her body, just a horrific situation here. Again, they claim that this happened on April 23rd and that David was basically lying in wait in a sense where she came out and that this was a special circumstance of financial gain.
He said that she had only been at the house for 10 minutes. After she got out of the Uber, they said little Celeste Rivas Hernandez was only at the house for 10 minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. She had only been at the house for 20 minutes before he unalived her, stabbed her in the liver, and sat there and watched her fall to the ground and watched her bleed out. Now, of course, David D4vd didn't sit up there and say, I watched her bleed out. So it had to have been somebody else up in the camp that saw David do that.
Yeah, just a terrible, terrible story as you're getting more information out there. And was this a situation too where David, the suspect, of course, was hoping that because there was just so many wounds and it was taking so much time that maybe this person would never be identified?
There's the evidence. And it's incredibly disturbing. Basically, we learned that the two of them met when Celeste was 11.
What?
11 years old.
baby.
And when she was 13 years old, they started having a sexual relationship. Yeah. So they're in this relationship. They traveled everywhere.
Thank you, Christy, for participating. And I totally agree with you. David D4vd did this.
Together, even, to London and places like this. Like, this was a serious thing. And she was a chronic runaway. So her family had reported her missing multiple times. But at some point, she just never was seen again.
Now, according to this brief, April 23rd, 2025 is when they believe that she died because that's when all of her cellular activity ceased. The night prior, April 22nd, the defendant and victim engaged in a lengthy argument described in detail in their text messages. Now, I'm about to pick apart some language again. I really do not like how they phrased this. I understand why they phrased it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Some young women and some old broads too don't know when to keep their motherfucking mouth shut. Okay? Why in thy hell would little Celeste Rivas Hernandez sit up there and tell David what her plans were as far as contacting the Popo and telling the Popo that you guys were having an inappropriate relationship? You should have kept your damn mouth shut. Okay? And then on top of that, he tricks you. Of course, you're young. You young in head. He sits up there and tricks you into getting your little ass in an Uber from Lake Elsinore all the way to the Hollywood Hills. Guys, that's about an hour and a half drive. And I'm sure if she talked to the Uber driver, and I'm sure when this trial starts, guess what? They're going to contact the Uber driver and have the Uber driver talk as well. Okay? Guys, word to the wise. Keep your motherfucking mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. I believe little Celeste Rivas Hernandez would still be alive today if she did not sit up there and threaten David D4vd. Now, don't get it twisted up. I am not blaming her at all for her death because she was a child. But why in the hell would you threaten him and then jump your little ass in the Uber to talk to him in person? They said she had only, after she got out of the Uber, guys, they said she had only been there 20 fucking minutes before he unalived her.
This way, but I think fundamentally it gives the wrong impression. It states, the messages reveal the victim's jealousy over a defendant's relationship with other women. Now, other women implies that Celeste is a woman. She is not a woman. She is a child. So they should have said something like, the messages reveal victims' jealousy over defendants' relationships with adult women.
That smile says you have not. It says you have nothing on me. That smile says.
And I agree with Christy. Who the fuck else did this? Give me a name. Tell me who else could have done this. Okay, if some of you guys are sitting around here thinking that David D4vd was framed, give me the name of the person who could have done this.
I'm okay. I'm not worried. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit. He should be sad and upset, but he's not. So what does that smile tell me in my professional experience?
That's what the smile
that he's
says.
not going to be a good witness, and that he's most likely not going to say anything, and this is why he's smiling.
Fans confused was David's first visible activity online. Instead of posting a statement, a fan claimed his gaming account showed him playing Fortnite for multiple matches within an hour. The comment read, "If anyone's wondering where David is at right now, he's lurking and has been playing Fortnite just recently." That made people question his mindset. Fans couldn't believe it. People were saying, "There's no way that's David's first response to all of this." Instead of making a strong public statement or facing the cameras, reports claimed D4vd was staying inside an unknown location and playing Fortnite. That move.
My whole thing in a nutshell, guys, which I found was peculiar. David D4vd, he's originally from New York, but his family lived in Texas. And all this went down in California. He broke his lease at the home that he was spending $20,000 a month at. He broke that lease after all of this went down. The whole thing in a nutshell, which I thought was very odd. When they found him, he was still in California. I was thinking there was a great possibility he went back to his mama's house. Guys, do me a favor and go ahead, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Guys, my contact information is right there. I thought that was very peculiar that he didn't run to his mama's house.
Move confused a lot of supporters. If someone wants to show they have nothing to hide, most expect them to address things head on.
Which started when she was a minor, claiming he knew it would end his career and destroy his life.
Exactly.
With an impending album and world tour, they say he killed her to keep her silent. They say among evidence they plan to present in court, proof he bought 2 chainsaws, body bags, and other tools to kill her, even using a blue plastic pool to conceal any blood that might spill onto his floor. However, they claim to have found Rivas Hernandez's DNA in his garage.
So really graphic details, but also what David did to cover up these purchases, buying them through an alias.
Documents also claim the links David went to in order to pursue the teen. Before her death, Celeste's family first reported her missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department in February. Detectives questioned David about her whereabouts. He claimed to not know she was 13 after she returned home on February 24th.
How the fuck did you not know she was 13? When you showed up to her high school after her parents took her cell phone because they knew that you two guys were corresponding. Now, guys, don't get it twisted up. Her parents did try to keep them separated. But, guys, there were some rumors and some allegations. There was a great possibility that David D4vd was paying the parents $10,000 a week in order to keep their damn mouth shut. But evidently, guys, that is just a rumor. But David D4vd showed up to the damn junior high school. Showed up to the junior high school that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez was going to and found one of her classmates and gave him allegedly $1,000 to give Celeste Rivas Hernandez a new cell phone because her parents had took her previous cell phone.
Her parents took away her cell phone. That's when the prosecution claims he gave a kid in junior high $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone that he purchased so they could keep communicating.
And on that cell phone, they would exchange sexually explicit images, talk about pregnancy, abortions, Plan B, birth control.
Oh my God. I bet you that his streams on Spotify probably went up a lot too. But let's just see how popular this guy was. Oh my God. Even right now, during the investigation.
Break it down, girl.
He has 25 million monthly listeners.
Boom.
2 of his songs have over 1.5 billion streams on Spotify.
Wow.
And the #1 song is called Romantic Homicide.
In the case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez,
So, Christy, in the back of your mind. Christy, I totally agree with you. Who in the hell could have done this? Nobody else but David D4vd. Okay, yeah, let's just say somebody was hating on him. He was a millionaire. He was a singer. He was young. He had all kind of women throwing panties at him. Okay, but who in the hell could have done this? Okay, allegedly, he chopped off the very finger that had his motherfucking name on it because he didn't want it to be traced back to him. And evidently, little Celeste Rivas Hernandez had another tattoo on her finger that said shh on it. Her and David had matching tattoos. That finger was still intact. And it said, motherfucker, that her mama, let me rewind. It's sad in the motherfucker that her mama had to identify her from that shh finger. That's sad. That's all what was left of her. The shh and some dental records. That's weird. Why did that little girl deserve that? She didn't.
Whose body was found dismembered in a Tesla. Sources close to the investigation now alleged that David is in fact a suspect and as an unidentified second suspect. TMZ's Harvey Levine, I'm not going to even say his name. I fucking don't like that guy at all. Some people were pushing rumor mills like that, but unconfirmed. So TMZ supposedly reported that the medical examiner may not be able to determine cause of death because Rivas Hernandez's body was found in a frozen state. That's ridiculous. I don't know who they talked to. But sources told the entertainment news outlet that the body was allegedly decapitated. The limbs had been removed and cut into pieces. Another TMZ reported that David has been viewed as a suspect in the case, blah, blah, blah. However, a recent report from People alleged that David has not been cooperative from the beginning. In the early October, the singer had hired Blair Burke, which I've spoken to her once, a top Hollywood criminal defense attorney amid...
They say Blair is not prepared. They say Blair isn't prepared, guys. That's why this shit keeps getting delayed. I think this is the third time that it got delayed.
The investigation.
Or in Lake Elsinore, that teenager, her name Celeste Rivas, she was 13 years old when she was last seen leaving this home back in April of 2024. TMZ broke the girl's identification after speaking to her mother.
It was a very heart-wrenching conversation. She was very upset and said that all she knew is that, her daughter had been missing all of this time. She told us that she was aware that there was a boyfriend named David.
And that her daughter had a tattoo with the letters shh on her right index finger.
That the color of the ink of that tattoo was red, which was something that police had not released.
As expected, David's parents are not taking the news about Celeste.
First of all, little Celeste Rivas Hernandez, her parents sat up there and said that the last time they saw their daughter, she was headed to the movies with somebody by the name of David. Okay? Why in thy hell do you not know who David is? Okay? Okay? If this was my child, I would say, look here. Whoever's coming to pick you up has to pick you up at the front door. And let me tell you something. At 13 years old, no ma'am. No. You are not going on no date at no 13 years old. And another thing, they said that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez had told her parents that David was a musician. So if you knew that he was a musician, how in thy hell did you think that he was the same age as your daughter, who was 13 at the time?
Murder lightly at all. Word on the street is they had already been side-eyeing David for a while, especially over how he kept sneaking around with Celeste in a way that didn't sit right. If that suspicion turns out to be real, this situation could wreck way more than just his career. It could tear everything apart around him. Now let's get into it.
It's a mess, and every new rumor just muddies the water even more. But here's the twist no one wants to talk about. This chaos might not be random at all.
Christy in the house talking a lot of smack, and I love it. I love it, Christy. So Christy sat up here and said that it's a great possibility that Neo Langston, he was jealous. Okay, yeah. If I was his friend, I'd probably be jealous too. I'm like, this motherfucker, he was making music out of his damn closet, out of his sister's closet, using his cell phone. This motherfucker blew the fuck up. Yes, I would probably be jealous too, but my whole thing in a nutshell. Okay, let's just say Neo was jealous. Why? And if Neo actually did this, and guess what, guys? Christy got a good reason to think the way she does. But the whole thing in a nutshell. If Neo was jealous, and guys, there was a great possibility that Neo and David D4vd was having some kind of peculiar relationship. Guys, do not message me about the BS. Oh, she's talking about gay people again. Guys, please don't do that. Okay, I have a lot of cousins that's gay. I got friends that's gay. I got co-workers that's gay. I love some gay people. But my whole thing in a nutshell, let's just say he was jealous. The whole thing in a nutshell If he was trying to frame David, again, we go back to the finger that had David's name on it. Why would he cut that finger off? That doesn't make any sense. If you were trying to frame David D4vd because you was jealous, you would have left that finger on. But you did not. You did not.
When timelines flood with rumors, the real evidence gets buried deep. And if someone wanted to cover their tracks or distract from the truth, flooding feeds with lies would be the easiest way to pull it off. So the real question is, are these false claims just desperate fans reaching for answers, or are they part of a much bigger play to cloud the case and keep the truth hidden? And here's where it gets truly disturbing. While the internet chases wild rumors and false leads, the creepiest evidence may have been staring us right in the face this entire time, hidden inside David's own music and interviews. What investigators have been finding in his lyrics, his voicemails, even his emotional meltdowns on stage feels less like creativity and way more like confession.
So this is David D4vd and his little brother, Khalid. Caleb, Khalid, whatever the hell you want to call him. Evidently, now Caleb is sitting up here and he has put out some music as well. He's going to sit up here and try to make us believe that he did not have a close relationship with his brother. I think that this is the wrong time to start a damn record deal or try to get a record deal. Khalid or Caleb, whatever the hell name is. This is inappropriate as hell. But I do believe that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez and Caleb had a relationship, not sexual relationship. Don't get it twisted up. But I do believe that he cared for her because he sat up there and said that he wanted justice for her, little Celeste Rivas Hernandez. My whole thing in a nutshell, he didn't say too much about his damn brother. He said he really didn't even hang around his brother. But I'm thinking that he was trying to distance himself from his brother and everything that was going on. To me, it seems like this would have been a great time to help your brother try to get out of Sing Sing. And guys, David D4vd is in segregation right now. Okay, once that shit is over, and if he does get some prison time for this, guys, those guys up in that prison gonna be waiting for his ass because they do not like people who do this kind of shit. They don't like people who do this kind of shit to kids.
Okay.
Hey, Christy.
Okay.
My girl named Helen.
Okay.
I'm not a felon.
Okay.
You know what I'm selling?
Okay.
You know I don't sell?
Okay. Oh, what?
You know
What the hell?
Okay.
I'm not a felon.
Okay.
I'm not a felon.
Okay.
Skeletons.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, go sit your ass down.
Okay.
I am not Jekyll-ish.
What?
Is this about protecting his own skin before the feds start connecting dots that could incriminate the entire circle? Or is he genuinely trying to expose the truth, even if it means putting his own brother under the bus? Either way, the family bond has been shattered and the stakes just skyrocketed. Don't forget, David's own manager already got his house raided, and the label cut him off without hesitation. The people closest to him are dropping.
David has been dropped like a hot potato. Nobody will fuck with him no more. Okay? When David started creating his own music, guys, he eventually opened for SZA. Okay? Then he had deals with Hollister, and then he had a deal with Crocs. Everybody has dropped him like a hot potato. Nobody want to fuck with David D4vd anymore. Anybody, any celebrity that has taken a picture with David D4vd before, guys, they have deleted that shit because they think that this is very peculiar what has happened. David D4vd, he made a video, guys, where he is wearing a bloody shirt and he has a blindfold on. Okay, and then there's two people standing by a car who pick up what looks to be an unalive body and they put it in the trunk of a car. And that happens in your video. And I'm sure, David D4vd, you have some input on your motherfucking videos. You got some input. Don't play dumb on my ass. Okay, so the same thing happens in your videos. And then later on, the same thing happens to you in real life, and we supposed to believe that this is a motherfucking coinky-dink.
Like flies scrambling to protect themselves. Now with Caleb stepping into the picture as the possible informant brother, it's a toss-up. Did he flip to save himself, or is he deliberately setting David up to bury him once and for all? The thought alone makes this story feel even darker, because here's the twist. If Caleb really is feeding info to investigators, then suddenly those cryptic songs, the eerie voicemails, even the tattoos David showed off in music videos, they might not just be disturbing coincidences anymore.
That has flown under the radar for quite some time, and a lot of people are wondering, is this guy a weirdo too? And this guy was very,
He's
very
a
close to
weirdo
Celeste.
too.
Is David's brother Caleb. Now, there's been a lot, maybe not a lot, but there's been a decent amount of talk online about what he knew about Celeste. There's a very famous video of him with Celeste, holding hands with Celeste. And now, while David is awaiting trial for the murder and dismemberment and essaying a minor of Celeste,
Terrible.
David's brother has decided now is the time to launch his music career. And a lot of people are upset about it. A lot of people think it's very insensitive.
Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you think this is a good time for the brother to break out with his own music. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe it. Put a 1 in the chat. Because to me, this is inappropriate like a motherfucker. You should be trying, if your brother did not do it, of course, you should be trying to help your brother. This ain't time. There's no time to launch no damn music career. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you think that this is a inappropriate time to start a record deal. If it's an inappropriate time to start your own little record situation, Caleb, guys, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat.
But there is a very small silver lining, because it might be true, if some things are to go by, that David's brother Caleb might have already turned on him. And if he truly does come out and admonish his brother, he might actually have a shot at a music career. But if he doesn't, he's just going to be another Hollywood hip-hop music, not really hip-hop music, but, another Hollywood, I don't know, crooning weirdo making music and having a very questionable past. So I'm going to...
And I'll tell you guys right now, Caleb didn't write this shit. Caleb told somebody, hey, people are coming after me because they're on to me, and please make this sound a little bit better, please. And somebody wrote this shit up for him. Let's continue. He continues saying, news companies, this is why he actually posted all of this, right? News companies such as TMZ, Daily Mail, and others have started saying that I am taking advantage of this whole...
Hold the fuck up. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Guys, I've been on almost an hour, and I got 11 likes up in the cap. Guys, do me a favor and go ahead and like this particular video, because this helps with the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and push that like button, guys. Thank you.
Situation to promote my music, and that I am just now launching my music career. This is not true at all. I've been releasing and posting music over the last 3 to 4 years and took over a half-year hiatus due to what happened. Okay. I changed my name online from Caleb to Kova as I did not want to associate myself with any of this. I have not once mentioned this situation or my identity on the new accounts.
I want you guys first to notice how David's little fake twerking is not getting the attention of the girls. It only gets Neo's attention. You see how Neo's the only one turned around? Neo's only...
That's very peculiar. That's very peculiar. And just like Christy said, there's a great possibility that maybe Neo was jealous of the relationship that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was having with David D4vd. The relationship was weird and a mofo. It was weird. So maybe Christy does have a point. Maybe Neo Langston, guys, I'm not really sure what's going on. But evidently, Neo ran to Montana over to his mama's house. And evidently the Popo and the FBI caught his monkey behind, brought him back to California in order to talk to the grand jury. And evidently, they said Neo was only in the grand jury for approximately 45 minutes, and everybody was thinking that it was a great possibility that Neo had pled the fifth. But come to find out, guys, there's a great possibility that Neo might have ratted David D4vd's ass out. Not really sure how true that is.
One in that area, in that bathroom, sexually attracted to David, first of all.
Did you guys know that me and David are actually related? Yeah.
He got some weird friends.
We got well shaped, like she's my backseat type. Low key, I'll be there too, bro. I'm driving. You're
So that little conversation about the backseat, you know, there's this whatever you would call it, this theme of being the backseat of someone's car, it implies something sexual. And you heard Neo say low key, I would be there too. David.
When I write music about heartbreak and the sad type of things, I write it not from experience because I was a really homebody. I was homeschooled. Like I didn't have much of a social outlet like that. But I write it in like preparation. I feel like when you commit to love, you commit to devastation as well. I think it's a mixture of like trying to figure it out myself and then looking at other people's experiences. I mean, I've never experienced like true heartbreak either. So I write all these songs in preparation for it so I'm not devastated. You know?
David was homeschooled. He was homeschooled. And guys, please don't message to me no bullshit about no homeschool. To me, in my personal opinion, guys, take it or leave it, guys. The videos that I make are for educational purposes and educational purposes alone, guys. This is my opinion about homeschooling. People who have been homeschooled, guys, I don't give a damn how old they are later on in life. Guys, they do not know how to socialize with other people their age, and that's probably a great possibility why David D4vd was always into younger girls. Okay, he was never into women his age. Because in my opinion, people have been homeschooled, guys. They don't know how to socialize with other mofos.
No, so I know what to expect. He describes writing about heartbreak in preparation, having never experienced it. He states directly, I love over-dramatized themes of romance because it would never be like this in real life.
And I do have to say, this part that Caleb is saying is actually true. He has been someone who has created and released music.
Yo, listen to Christy up in the house. Push that damn like button. Push it right now. Thank you, Christy.
For years now, we have also seen him a couple of times actually performing with David at some of David's shows. And there really was a lot of reporting and rumors going around that he launched his music career for the very first time when that has never been the case. Obviously, some people thought that the timing was not good, and that is just opinions. But the fact to say that he is launching a music career for the very first time is just not the case. He goes on
this crime for financial gain or murdering a witness in an investigation.
We learned a lot in that court of law when D4vd, aka David Anthony Burke, was brought in for the very first time after all these months have passed, and we learned a lot. We learned that there was a motive for Celeste's murder, that there was no accidental overdose, or for Pete's sake, a 14-year-old girl dying of natural causes. What, a stroke, a heart attack, cancer?
Okay, guys, it's odd, but young people drop dead all of the time. And a lot of you guys were sitting up here saying it was a great possibility that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez overdosed. Okay, yeah, she overdosed. Yeah, she overdosed. Okay, David D4vd, you came to your house and you found she overdosed. Maybe she found some shit in your medicine cabinet and she overdosed. Why didn't you call the popo? Okay, why didn't you call the popo? That's what I don't understand. Okay, you found her, she overdosed. And guess what you decide to do? You decide to dismember her and put her in the trunk of the Tesla. Why was all of that shit necessary? Okay, if she overdosed, it was an accident, call the popo, call it a day. Okay, a lot of you people don't even think that he dismembered her. You sit up here and say she overdosed. Well, how did she become dismembered in the trunk of their Tesla through some osmosis? How the hell did that happen? And guys, I cannot wait. I've said this before. I cannot wait for the video footage for that Tesla to come out. Because if that camera was on, that's going to be the nail in David D4vd's coffin. Trust and believe.
No.
But not only that, Nancy, it is wanting to terrify the victim and also wanting to render the victim unaware. So you think with pedophilia, there's this broad age difference between the two. She was not aware initially that she was being groomed. We think of serial killers, you know, cutting off the head of the victim. They don't want the victim to be aware of what they're about to do. That's a part of the perverse nature of this type of homicide, is that there's a stalking component, Nancy, like a...
So anyway, Christy done brought up another great point up in the camp. Guys, put a 1 in the comment if you think that Neo Langston might have done this. Put a 1. And put a 2 in the comment if you think he did not. Okay, yeah. It's a great possibility that Neo could have done this all day long. But the whole thing in a nutshell, and I can see why he probably did it. Maybe he was jealous that David was still having a relationship with little Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I understand that. But if you are trying to say If you're trying to say that David was framed, guys, once again, I'm going back to the finger that had David's name on it. That was the only finger. No, I'm sorry, 2 fingers were chopped off. But that finger that had David on it was chopped off. So if you're trying to frame him, you would have kept that damn finger on there.
Cold-hearted, a cold-blooded stalking component, but also in all perversions, you do not want the victim to be completely aware of what you are about to do.
Yeah, so something that we've been saying right from the beginning of this case, Nancy, and the DA in the press conference alluded to it. There was a tremendous surveillance effort on D4vd, David, and his associates.
Neo Langston went and hid out under his mommy's bed in another state, and we had to get a material witness warrant to drag him back in by his toenails. He did not want to testify, but he did. Speaking of witnesses, I sorry to interrupt. I just wanted you to see Neo. They were former best friends. So the blue kiddie pool, the inflatable pool, was in the basement.
Now, I will say something about that inflatable pool. That was an ingenious idea like a mofo to try to contain. And guys, I'm not here trying to show anybody how to kill a motherfucker. But to keep that blood in that pool, and I don't want to get graphic, that was ingenious. But the whole thing in a nutshell, you have to drain that blood somewhere. And guess what? When he started draining that blood, guys, that's when they found her DNA inside of the damn garage. See, David D4vd was an arrogant motherfucker. I do not believe that David D4vd thought that he was going to get in trouble. He actually unalived her, according to the FBI, on April the 23rd, 2025. The very next day, he had a get-together at his home with a bunch of his weird-ass friends, and they were smelling a funky-ass smell coming out of the house. And David tried to blame the fact that he took a boo-boo in the house. That's why it was smelling. Okay, unbeknownst to everybody else, and maybe not. Maybe they knew that little Celeste Rivas Hernandez's decomposing body was already in the house. She had already been deceased. That's nasty.
My question is, isn't it true the state alleges he bought it on Amazon?
I know, absolutely. And that's why what you said, Nancy, that brief is so key, because to me, it gives us a timeline. It shows us what he bought. You mentioned it with a fake name.
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Mr. D is in the house. Mr. D112 is in the house. One of my most loyal followers. Hold up now. Thank you, Mr. D.
And to me, it says he changed his mind a few times. Out of the gate, buying a shovel. Did he use that? But the kiddie pool is so horrendous. I wonder what his train of thought was, thinking, oh, I'm going to order this. And this is so she won't bleed everywhere. It's horrific. And that's what the DA said, Hoffman. This is a parent's worst nightmare.
Their search investigations, he was hired by the owner of that Hollywood Hills mansion where D4vd was renting at the time of the murders. And you are the first person to say the words fire cage or burn cage or home incinerator. What did you observe?
Once again, Christy, that brought up a good point. And I've been saying this, guys. David D4, just like she said, David D4vd was trying to disassociate himself from this whole thing. If he indeed did it. That's why he took off the motherfucking finger. Allegedly, nobody framed him. Not in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you what, guys. If I am wrong about what I'm saying, I'll be the first one to get on this damn internet and apologize to David. But guys, I am thinking that David D4vd did this. This is what I'm thinking.
We found the burn cage at the house after the search warrant was executed. It was, going back now, you can see it in images from live streams and videos that he took at the house. He didn't seem to have a care in the world that it was there for the friends to see. We found the chainsaw, and several packages in the name of Victoria Mendez from Amazon, including the burn cage.
Is there a Victoria Mendez?
Probably
not that we have found. It appears just to be an alias he was using.
There you go.
To Steve Fisher, before I get back to what we learned about her body, specifically why 2 of her fingers were cut
Arrested,
off? You know what?
and
Let me
they
just
told
go.
me that Celeste had been trying to give the ring back to David, and he wouldn't take it. And she was like trying to cut free from this guy. Of course, you know, she's being groomed, so she still got this thing, you know, where she's having trouble doing it. But she wanted to break free from him, and he would not take the ring back. He would not let her go.
Steve Fisher, you have exclusive video of D4vd's Tesla being moved around in the neighborhood, and you are allowing us to show it. I want to thank you for that. Let's see, Steve Fisher.
First of all, before we talk about the Tesla guys, David D4vd, when he found out that little Celeste Rivas' unalive body was found in the front of the Tesla, he at first said that the Tesla was stolen. And when he saw we wouldn't digest in that, he turned around and said that the Tesla had been sold, but he had not got the chance to transfer the title. This is what he's going to try to say to us, okay? Guys, why in the hell, if the car was sold to somebody else so you get a chance to transfer the title, why is the car still being driven around your mansion? And eventually it was parked right outside your mansion for your ass jumped onto the bus and went on tour. If it was sold but you didn't get a chance to transfer the title, see, that shit don't make no sense unless you sold it to somebody in that particular neighborhood. Now that would make a little sense, but why are you still driving it? That part don't make no sense to me.
Fisher's video. What am I saying, Steve?
So this is July 29th, which is the last day they're actually in Hollywood, because they're leaving on his tour, on the Wither tour, is beginning that evening in Santa Barbara. And this is the car being moved from the house. The house is right around where the car starts. It's right around that corner there. And it's coming down to where it wraps around to Bluebird. And this is somebody moving the car. I think it's around 10:30 in the morning. I might be off by an hour or so there. But they have the window down. The car's super dirty. You can tell it hasn't been moved in an extremely long time. They did the windshield wipers once or twice to get rid of, and it's a lighter skinned.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I thought that David D4vd's final plan was to, after he put little Celeste Rivas Hernandez unalive body in the front of the Tesla and went on tour, that it was a great possibility that somebody was supposed to come and take that Tesla to either drown it, catch it on fire, or crush it. Okay? I had no clue that that was his final plan, to sit up there and leave it out there in the elements while he took his ass on tour. Okay? That's crazy than a motherfucker, if you ask me. Okay? I did not know that that was his final plan. This is crazy.
You know, person with wearing red, sleeves and a red type of jersey. So.
Sounds like Neo.
Mr. D12 sat up there and said that he believed that Neo also had some involvement. And yes, guys, I'm thinking that it's a great possibility that Neo could have been involved. Because evidently, when little Celeste Rivas Hernandez made it to his home, when she got out of that Uber, she was only alive, they said, about 20 minutes. He stabbed her in the freaking liver. And then somebody said that he watched her fall to the ground and watched her bleed out. Okay? David D4vd is not going to say that. It has to be somebody else. And I'm thinking it could be a great possibility. It could be. And thank you for the hearts. I can't see who the fuck's sending the hearts, but thank you. But yes, it could be Neo. It could be a lot of people, guys. It could be Neo. It could be Caleb. It could be the manager, the touring manager, Robert, help me, Jesus. Robert Morganroth. Okay. Now I'm thinking them goofy ass girlfriends that he had. Okay. Secure. Okay. The girl who's the online influencer. It could be Asia. It could be a lot of motherfuckers. But you cannot tell me, guys, that David allegedly wasn't the ringleader. You cannot tell me. This motherfucker ain't smart. And what happened was, when he unalived her, he figured out, hey, I need some motherfucking help.
One of his best friends, who has not been charged, who appeared at the grand jury, who is not a person of interest. Steve Fisher, what is the date of that video we're showing right now?
July 29th, 2025.
Right. I've never seen him in a button down. He wants to present a false facade to spectators. What about it, Randolph? Busted.
Genius. I think it's a good move on his defense part and his team's part. And let me just say one thing about this finger. Everybody's talking about this is something that's going to hurt his case. I can tell you, his attorneys, and if I was attorney too, I would be going to the mat, filing a motion limine, which, did you know, Nancy, is just a motion to exclude evidence. That video never sees the light of day in a courtroom because it is irrelevant. Unless the prosecutors can prove that that has something to do with Celeste, with the victim in this case, it is not coming into court.
Go to Vegas, they go to Texas together, and at some point they break up. But investigators say they still kept that sexual relationship. And then it's April of 2025. They have this big blow up.
That's
and
weird.
she texts him essentially expressing some jealousy and saying, look, I'm going to ruin your career. I'm going to talk about our relationship. He orders an Uber to her house the
Oh my
next day.
God.
She takes that Uber from her house to his house, and investigators say
Why?
that
Get
night,
in.
her phone
Oh my God.
goes blank.
In April.
There's no activity. Yes,
Wow.
2025.
It is hard to hear that investigators, jurisdictions are obviously different,
Yeah.
but they were checking with David.
Yes.
When she was missing, then she went back home. Then she's found in his car, in his Tesla, months later. And then
Jesus
we wait
Christ.
months and months and months. And finally, we're starting to see a full picture. And yet that's not the only detail that we learned today, right?
Yeah, and again, I want.
Why in thy double hell did little Celeste Rivas Hernandez get into that damn Uber after they had been arguing and texting all night, after she had been threatening his monkey behind? Why would she get in the Uber, guys? That I know she young in the head, whatever the case may be. Why in thy hell did she do that? And then, guys, the drive to Lake Elsinore, to where he was in the Hollywood Hills, was roughly about an hour and a half. She had all that time to change her mind and say, no, I'll turn this shit around. I'm going back home to my parents. But she didn't. She didn't. He knew the whole time when she was being delivered to him like a pizza, like Nancy Grace said, that he was going to unalive her. And that's sad as fuck to me.
I want to give that warning in case you need to mute because it is pretty gruesome. So investigators say that they believe when she went to his house, he stabbed her multiple times and stood by while she bled out. They also say they have a lot of his Amazon purchases, which were made under another name, but were delivered to his home. Among those purchases are a chainsaw, an inflatable pool, a body bag, and...
Let me correct her right now. It wasn't a chainsaw. It was two chainsaws. That's how I know David D4vd didn't do this allegedly by himself. Why the fuck you need two chainsaws? Little Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a small lady. You don't need two chainsaws. That's why I know, allegedly, he did not do this by himself.
And laundry bags that were heavy duty. They also actually have his Postmates order, which was a Home Depot order. He got a shovel and via Postmates. So they have all of this that was delivered to his house. Investigators also say that on Celeste's body, they found pieces of that plastic inflatable pool. They obviously, again, say they have all of these text messages. They have surveillance video of him being the last person to drive that Tesla before he went on tour. They feel like they have a ton of evidence, which was presented in this document today. The defense did not want this to be public, but the judge says this is a public document.
Anyway, guys, this is crazy than a mofo. We're about to talk about this other case here in a little bit, guys. Check it out.
It has been a long and intense investigation, and finally, after more than 4 months, a major break in the case. But the arrest of the suspect did not go as planned.
I must announce at this point that we believe Alexis Gabe is the victim of a homicide.
Oakley Police Chief Paul Beard says they now believe the person responsible for Alexis Gabe's disappearance and murder was the last person she was with, her ex-boyfriend, 27-year-old Marshall Jones. Police say Jones is the man seen in surveillance video walking away from her dumped car. His DNA was found on her recovered cell phone case, and a mountain of other digital and forensic evidence all pointed to him.
Our joint investigation has led us to believe Alexis's ex-boyfriend, a man full name of Marshall Curtis Jones, a 27-year-old
hey,
male
Mr. D.
resident of Antioch, killed Alexis at his home on or about January 26, 2022.
But when police tried to arrest him at his friend's home in Washington last night, they say he charged them with a knife, and that's when officers shot and killed him.
You want him alive. You want him alive. Not like this.
Gabe's parents say they were crushed when the chief told them Jones had been killed last night.
We wanted to meet with them face to face.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Want to look in
it's sad, Mr. D.
Why? Why would you do this? And where's our daughter?
What happened to my daughter? What happened that night?
While they once considered Jones as part of their family, they say they've suspected him all along, but never talked publicly about it until now. Because
anyway, guys, we got another peculiar case up in the camp.
I suppose the case that came out of it. I didn't.
This is Marshall and his mother, Alicia. Just feet away, inside the trunk, lies the dead body of Marshall's girlfriend. He has cut her body up and plans to discard it in the remote mountains of the Sierra foothills. Over the next several weeks, a series of small mistakes in Marshall's cover-up would bring him face to face with local police and the FBI, watching detectives unknowingly walk past his murder scene and slowly discovering the monster he truly is.
We got another sick motherfucker up in the house. We got another sick mofo up in the house. Guys, whatever happened to the day when you just break up with a motherfucker? They go their way and you go yours. What's all this beheading and dismemberment, guys? Is weird than a motherfucker.
I think where she may be. Brother, I'm keeping a buck with you. I don't know.
Have you guys thought about maybe she was trafficked?
And the mother is weird than a bitch. His mother was weird. Okay?
Yep. Oakley PD, come out, do your answer!
It's approximately 6:30 p.m. in Antioch, California, when 24-year-old Alexis Gabe is seen at a Chevron gas station. While filling up her car, she receives a message from her boyfriend. "Are you still coming over?" She replies, "I can only come by for a bit." After paying, Alexis gets back on the road, and by 6:37 p.m., she's seen arriving at her boyfriend's house. He doesn't know it yet, but she's there to break up with him. A decision that will carry far.
Y'all gonna get enough of having to break up with a motherfucking person. Y'all gonna get enough of that shit. Why do you have to break up with his ass in person? That could have been a motherfucking phone call. Y'all gonna get enough of that shit.
Greater consequences than she expects. 2 hours pass. Then
What's going on up in the house?
Alexis's car is seen leaving Marshall's house, but something isn't right. The vehicle takes an unusual route, one Alexis never uses to get home, and just 12 minutes later, roughly 6 miles away, it pulls into a quiet residential neighborhood. A masked figure steps out of the car, noticeably larger than Alexis. Moments later, her phone pings. "Did you make it home?" And as the figure disappears into the distance, Alexis is never seen or heard from again.
Sad.
Sheriff's Department. File a missing person report. Is this a family member or friend? Family member. Sister. And how long ago did you last talk to her? No one's heard from her since she went to see her ex-boyfriend last night at 8:30. And she's not answering her phone or anything?
Let's hold it up. So you're a family member and you allow her to go in the middle of the night to break up with a boyfriend, and you cool with that? You cool with that? No. That ain't what you do. You just pick up the phone. "Hey, baby, it ain't working out, this, that, and the third. Your feet stink," or whatever the case may be. "Okay, you lost your job. I can't deal with it." Guys, what the fuck? Why do you have to go over their house? That's weird. Y'all need to stop that.
No, it's going straight to voicemail.
On the line is Alexis Gabe's sister. Her tone is urgent as she insists on filing a missing persons report immediately. To better understand the situation, dispatch sends Officer Rod Coutney to the family's home. And that's where he learns why Alexis's family is already fearing the worst.
Horrible.
Good morning. How you doing? I'm Detective with the police department. I'm gonna get some info from you guys, and I'm gonna start looking for Alexis. That's okay. Okay. She ever make any like sort of
beautiful
statements?
No.
Okay. Is she generally pretty happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's always out. Not every day.
She's always out?
Yeah.
Do you know where she goes a lot of the time?
With her friend, E and Ria. She's with us yesterday too.
Does she have any mental health issues? It's generally an antidepressant.
Yeah, I know. That's why she said. That's why she's looking for the doctor. She's seeing the doctor.
Okay.
When they have accident with her boyfriend, car accident. She said she have a chiropractor appointment.
Who's her boyfriend?
The one that we know is Marshall.
Marshall.
Jones, yeah.
Okay.
And we just found out yesterday. The friend said Marshall threatening Alexis. If they gonna broke up, he's gonna kill or gonna kill Alexis.
Oh, okay. And this.
What the fuck? You mean to tell me you knew that he made a comment like this, that if they break up, he was gonna unalive her, and you still let her go? Okay, guys, this is weird. I'm praying I'm getting this motherfucker wrong.
Is Marshall.
Marshall.
Yeah. Okay.
Needless to say, the officer knows exactly who they need to speak with next. According to Alexis's mother, Marshall Jones is the boyfriend she went to see last. But even more troubling is her claim that he had threatened to harm himself or Alexis if they ever broke up.
Oh my God.
As Coutney wraps up his initial search, he relays the information to his sergeant. From there, requests are made for street CCTV footage, a real-time location warrant for her phone, and most urgently, another officer is dispatched to Marshall's address. Later that afternoon, the officer arrives at the house. Knowing Marshall is one of the last people to see Alexis alive, the officer expects to gather more information about her whereabouts. But he's about to get much more than that. With that said, let's get back to the video.
How y'all doing? Hey, is Marshall home?
No. I'm in his house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
How y'all doing today? Okay. Y'all be safe. Be careful now, okay?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I'm here. You know Alexis?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Gabe. I'm sorry, Gabe.
Gabe. Yeah, no, her mom told me that she didn't come home.
So yeah, because I spoke to her brother and friends, and they're concerned.
I'm concerned too.
When was the last time you spoke to her or saw her?
You know what? I can.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, hold on. So I can show you my call log. I talked to her throughout the day yesterday. I want to say 6:38 is when she told me that she was outside. She...
Here?
Yeah. I let her in. We hung out for a couple hours.
Talking too slow, bro.
Did she say where she was going?
Yeah, because I can show you text message. She said that...
the more you can give me, the better, man.
I was about to say, I remember her saying... This is from today. It's not the
you
way
lying.
I'm trying to call her. I was like, you still coming over? You must still be asleep. She's like, I can only come by for a bit today. I was like, okay. Because she was doing some other stuff for her job that she was doing some running around for.
Okay. Any idea where she may be?
You know, brother, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I honestly thought she went to go smoke with her friend Ria.
You weird. And you lying. Weird and lying.
When she left here.
Maria.
Oh,
Maria.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought she went to go smoke with her because usually she won't tell me, you know, what she's doing until she's already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought she went there, but then when I kept on calling by like 11 and I wasn't getting anything.
Okay. Did she seem out of sorts when she came over yesterday? Was she her normal self? Whatever that may be?
Yeah, I mean, she came in, we hugged, we kissed, she watched me, do my little heist on GTA, playing my game and whatnot. I mean, we watched Family Guy.
Okay.
It was fine.
When she left, did you see her? Did you see her leave?
Yeah. And I say yeah because I opened the garage door, she left. So
Okay. Also, she opened the garage door.
Yeah.
All right.
At first glance, Marshall appears far more willing to help than Alexis's family hinted towards. But as he recounts his last encounter with Alexis, his demeanor is oddly detached, at times even attempting to make light of the situation. It's the kind of behavior that doesn't go unnoticed.
This happened in January of 2022. Ladies, we got to be more safe. And men too, we got to be safe. Okay, she should have just got on the phone and told him that's a wrap. Matter of fact, I would have called his ass at all. I wouldn't have called his ass at all. I would have just dropped off the face of the motherfucking earth. These people get crazy out here.
But before wrapping up the interview, the officer would ask one of the strangest questions possible at a moment like this.
Do you have a car? Because I want to be able to follow up with you.
Yeah. How long you dating?
Yeah.
How long y'all been together?
Like 3 going on 4 years.
Okay. All right.
And I showed you my call log, text message.
You ain't got to strap down in the house like a slave or nothing?
No, I don't. No, I know you have to ask.
Yeah,
because it's a serious situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And I appreciate you trying to make light of it, but no.
Okay.
I do not.
All right.
On that strange note, the interview wraps, and the officer calls his sergeant, only to learn that, while this conversation was taking place, a major discovery had just been made a few miles away.
Break it down.
On a residential street in Antioch, Alexis's family comes across their daughter's car while organizing their own search and spreading the word on social media. Police are immediately informed of this discovery, and the car is towed and seized for forensic analysis. Inside the car, some troubling details quickly stand out.
Here we go.
The keys are still in the ignition, the door is unlocked, and personal items are missing. After removing and analyzing the car's infotainment unit, investigators are able to track Alexis's precise movements before her disappearance. And just 12 minutes before the car was abandoned, it had been at Marshall's house, not her friend Maria's, as he had previously implied. These findings, along with the alleged death threat, prompt investigators to move Marshall from a person of interest to the primary suspect in Alexis's disappearance. The following day, 2 detectives arrive at Marshall's house, suspecting he is the last person to see her alive and may have been withholding vital information. However, they're also here for something else. Something that will catch him completely off guard.
Hey, I'm a detective minister of Oakley. Are you Alexis's
boyfriend? Yeah.
Boyfriend? Okay. What's your name?
Marshall.
Marshall? Okay. Yeah, we're still looking for her. Have you heard from her at all? Or?
I have not. I've been trying to call her. I've been texting.
Yeah, right.
Messages aren't getting delivered.
See, that's the big difference between him and David D4vd. See, David D4vd, when little Celeste Rivas Hernandez got to the house, he kept on texting, saying, "Where are you?" His dumb ass didn't realize that his cell phone, and her cell phone was pinging at the same location. Okay, so I will give this motherfucker a little bit of credit. He is saying that he has been trying to call her still.
Phone calls are going straight to voicemail.
Gotcha. Okay. Huh. Yeah, basically at this point, I think this is the last place that we know that she was at.
Right, and
so we're just, obviously that's why we're kind of keying in on this area,
I understand, and I was telling her mom, hey, I saw her, this is the last time.
Yeah.
And I'm worried.
Right.
And...
You worried, but you sat up there and threatened her ass if she tried to break up with you. What you was going to do to her. But now, today, you worried. Okay.
She's missing. And that just means that she's missing. It doesn't necessarily mean something happened to her, so I'm really trying not to let my mind wander. Her friends I'm not going to say that.
Slow bus. What the fuck is you talking about? She's missing. She is missing. And has had something to do with it.
They've been putting me under scrutiny, but they're making me feel like I did something, and
because you did.
Yeah, I mean, anytime.
And
boyfriend, right? And
that's what I'm saying. You know, everybody handles
team,
stress
so,
different, you know.
Yeah.
And so we just
want to rule everything out, anything weird to happen here. So you know what I mean. Then we can move on to, hey, let's go look another area and see where she's at. You know.
I understand.
Are you cool if we go inside and look around real quick?
It's not my house; it's my stepdad's. So
right.
I mean, I could call him really fast and see.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Clearly uncomfortable with the request, Marshall agrees to call his stepfather, the homeowner of the house. And as they wait for his approval, detectives would slowly begin to suspect there's something inside the house neither Marshall nor his stepfather wants them to find.
Hey, Dad. Alexis.
Oh, Lord, you got the parents involved in this dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? Weird. This boy didn't have a chance. Your parents are goofy and your ass goofy too.
Went missing, and the police just want to go through the house really fast just to make sure that everything's fine. Is that okay?
He's sick, Mr. D.
He said that one of you could go in, but he would like the other one to stay out here.
What?
No problem.
Sure. You got a flashlight or anything?
I don't.
Yeah, me neither. You want to go in?
Sure.
All right.
Hold that for me.
All right.
What's your dad's name?
Leslie.
Leslie? Okay, and that's the one you were talking to on the phone?
Yes.
All right, he said one of us would come in? Cool.
That's weird.
Do you want me to leave the door open? Yeah.
Only one of y'all can come in. What? The parents is weird too, guys. The boy didn't have a chance. God bless him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
For sure. I'll come around.
Anything of hers that's here?
I mean, there might be some clothes that she left over.
Okay.
It's gonna be in my room. My room's a mess.
That's fine. Cool. This your room?
This is my room. I know. Like I said, it's a mess.
It happens, bro.
Yeah.
You guys drink together, I'm assuming?
Yeah. At the house.
As the officer moves through the house, Marshall's room quickly stands out, left in complete disarray. And as he inspects the room further, little does he know, this very place holds subtle clues and will soon become a crime scene.
Is there upstairs?
No,
It's just one story.
Just one story.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
You're good. And then this is other people's rooms?
Yeah. Did you want to go in the backyard or?
Probably not. All right, I'm gonna close this door. Nothing out of the ordinary. His room is an absolute mess. He does.
Focusing on the mess, the officer overlooks the attic, a place hiding a terrifying secret. And it's no accident.
What the hell?
Marshall has been guiding him through certain areas, carefully steering him away from others. But despite the search turning up nothing, officers aren't done with him just yet. There's something else they want to ask.
So no contact from her?
None whatsoever.
Okay. Phone's been off. You tried to call her, I'm assuming?
Indeed.
Okay. Do you mind hanging up with him real quick so we can... I'm going to ask you something. Would you be willing to give us your cell phone for a forensic download?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm able to do all that stuff.
What's the forensic download again?
It just shows me all the information on your phone for a certain period of time.
Oh, okay.
It shows like, hey, was this phone here the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
For sure.
And then I would just have you sign like a consent form.
Okay.
And then you can bring it down,
This
sign the
guy's
consent
guilty.
form down at the PD.
Allegedly.
And then I'd take your passcode, and then I would do it that way.
Okay. They want to do a forensic download just to make sure that, you know, my phone is where I said it was, i.e. where I said I was.
Yeah. But she was still here when he got home?
Interestingly, detectives not only gain access to Marshall's phone, but also learn that his stepfather was allegedly at the house at the same time Alexis was there. So they make a note to speak with the homeowner as soon as possible to see if his account aligns with Marshall's. Shortly afterwards, Marshall gets into his stepfather's car and follows the officers to the station. As he drives, officers ahead notice something strange. He appears anxious, swerving slightly with something large in the back of his car obstructing his view. In reality, Marshall isn't just nervous. He's just realized he's driving straight to the police station with a car full of incriminating evidence.
Well,
about 10 minutes later, Marshall arrives at the station, trying to steady himself, quietly questioning why he brought this car in the first place. And the second he steps out, he realizes the officers are onto him.
Mr. D. I don't know how these stupid motherfuckers think they gonna get away with this type of shit. This is why I laugh. They always get caught. It's a matter of time.
What you all have? Yeah, blankets and whatnot. Wait, do you actually have to search it, or can you just look around? Because this is my dad's car, and
everything belongs to your daddy.
Lift the gate so I can see inside. You know, that's cool.
Again, it's not
now
my
you
car;
nervous.
it's my dad's.
You said that already, motherfucker.
I'll open the gate for you though, so that way you can look inside.
That'd be great.
We went to the drive-in, so tried to get Rumi some water. I mean, you can look in the bag. That's our Philly cheesesteak.
Any of this hers?
No.
Because we would like to collect a DNA sample from her, right? So we have a reference on file. So was she back here?
Yeah. Like,
what the hell is she doing in the back?
So is any of this like?
None of this is her. I don't know.
Would you mind if we like took a blanket to test it? Or?
I would, because yeah.
And does she normally sit up in the front seat?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start the photo.
Oh, we're not. You don't want us to look under the blankets or what?
She would like to look under the blankets. I don't want you to think I have a dead body or anything.
No, I was just because you were being all.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your stepdad or your real dad?
My stepdad.
Gotcha. All right,
He's acting guilty like a motherfucker.
Naturally, Marshall's unwillingness to show what's in the trunk immediately raises red flags for the officers. Once it's opened, they find multiple blankets, pillows, and food waste, with Marshall insisting that he and Alexis used the car as a bed at the drive-in. With suspicion mounting, they get Marshall to sign a consent form, download the data from his phone, and then return it to him. And as they let him go, detectives believe the contents of Marshall's phone may finally reveal what he's been hiding, unaware that this entire investigation is about to start going downhill. The next day, as investigators prepare to review the data from Marshall's phone, they notice the download process has failed, leaving them with nothing. Realizing Marshall's willingness to cooperate may already be reaching its limits, detectives decide not to push any further for now and instead turn their attention elsewhere. There's still...
Now, you don't want to cooperate with the popo, because you know they about to get your ass. Guys, I don't know where we get these weird people that think they can get away with this type of shit. This is weird.
One person they haven't spoken to yet. Marshall's stepfather, the homeowner who was allegedly inside the house the same night Alexis disappeared. If something happened to her that night, he may have witnessed it. With that in mind, they drive back to the house to speak with him, where they'll begin to suspect that not everyone wants them to discover the truth behind Alexis's disappearance.
Hey, Mr. Clark.
Hey, Mr. D, this about to get goofy to the motherfucker.
We're just trying to follow up on everything going on with Alexis. We haven't talked to you yet. Marshall had said that you were here when Alexis was here on Wednesday night.
Did you see Alexis here on the 26th?
Yeah, honest with you. I come, if she's here, she's here. She's not. When I see her.
What?
You don't recall seeing her car here? No, I do not.
And you don't remember seeing her, talking to her that night?
No, I didn't see her there that night. No Wednesday.
How's Marshall holding up with all this?
He's upset.
No, for sure.
I mean, just now finding out that his girlfriend's coming up missing. I mean, I found out yesterday with the note coming in, the flyer.
Oh yeah,
flyer and stuff.
saying that she's missing. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
What
You
was
know
she
it.
like as
Don't play.
just an everyday person? Like,
She's
good?
sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just a good young lady.
She never brought drama to your house or anything like that, or
What couples?
I mean, aside from couple drama. Yeah.
I mean, they never argued in front of me.
But like, she never brought any outside BS.
He looked nervous. He looked nervous.
Or anything like that.
No.
Is Marshall around? I know one of the detectives was trying to reach him and he hadn't returned his phone call.
Marshall's
Another
not here.
sicko, Mr. D.
He said he's going to go talk to his mom. Me and his mom don't really conversate like that.
With this information, police now know where to look for Marshall next. His mother's house. What catches the officers off guard, however, is Leslie's refusal to confirm being with Marshall and Alexis the night she disappeared, directly contradicting what Marshall had previously told investigators. Now faced with more questions than answers, officers leave to figure out their next move. From this point forward, the investigation into Alexis's disappearance quietly begins to shift in a much darker direction. During the next several days, police visit Marshall's mother, Alicia Clark, looking for her son. But suspiciously, she claims she hasn't seen him since the night his girlfriend Alexis vanished. By now, investigators begin to consider a troubling possibility. Marshall may be on the run, and his family may even be covering for him. But their biggest piece of evidence is...
Guys, who does this type of shit? Who does it? If I thought one of my children, if I had children, I don't have children, but anyway, if I thought one of my kids had done some shit like this, I'm like, oh no, baby. Now, mom about to get you an attorney, but something wrong with you. You need some motherfucking help. Guys, who does this? You know, for a fact, allegedly, hypothetically, that your child might have unalived somebody and you helping him? That's weird to me.
Still to come. Just as the investigation seems to stall, CCTV footage is recovered from the route Alicia's car took the night she vanished. For roughly 12 minutes, the car is seen speeding from Marshall's home to the residential area where it's eventually abandoned. A masked figure is seen stepping out of the car, noticeably larger than Alexis, with a more masculine build. As detectives begin tracking the figure's movements through nearby cameras, they watch it move calmly for over a mile until it arrives somewhere completely unexpected: Marshall's mother's house. This development makes investigators certain that the masked figure was none other than their prime suspect, Marshall. And with that, an emergency search warrant for his home is secured immediately. On February 1st, more than a dozen officers arrive at the house, convinced there is far more inside than Marshall originally let them see.
Oakley PD search warrant, open up! Press the door.
This guy's sick.
Yeah, hold it to the side and press the cord. Yes, we need that pry. You want the pry? Pry bar? Oakley PD! Come out with your hands up! Your hands up!
Come on out, you did it.
I got a door on the right. Check that door. That's clear. Oakley PD, come out with your hands up! Search warrant! Check that. Clear.
As officers move through the house,
He's
neither
a
Marshall
sicko.
nor his stepfather are anywhere to be found. But then, as they prepare to enter the garage, it doesn't take long for a vile discovery to emerge.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Smell it? Smell like dead body. Yep.
Oh my God.
In the laundry room.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Yeah. I just little compartment one. Right here, yeah? Yeah, right in here. I got a big whiff. Yep. Put that backyard.
My God.
All this? Yep.
multiple officers begin to notice a distinct smell, one they believe to be the odor of a decomposing body. The scent appears to be coming from the laundry room and leads up towards the attic. So officers prepare to investigate and brace themselves for the worst.
It looks undisturbed. Are we agreeing?
Plus been opened before. I don't know.
Sicko.
It's right here, dude. Yeah. This points straight out to the garage.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is like,
That's the
we
cold
gotta
roof,
check
right?
the crawl space. Anybody check inside that SUV or take a peek inside?
I didn't see anything. It's locked.
Okay.
Scott, I'm gonna have this door closed for a second. I mean, there's pathways where they walked for electrical, but I don't see.
I don't get for the life of me why his parents would assist him in trying to get away with this shit.
No footprints, no drag marks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you can see where they're walking,
Okay.
doing something, but I don't.
Hey, they said they could smell something right where you're at, Logan.
Like there's a vent, it's coming from the vent kind of.
Yeah, once we hit this area and start walking to the garage is where I smelt it.
Horrible.
Does it look like blood and hair?
Yeah.
You see?
Black hair.
Look it. Paint? Could be blood, could be
Like brown paint, but that could also be blood.
Alright, let's
This flops.
let's clear out.
After following the scent, officers come up empty-handed, but they do uncover what appears to be dried blood. After clearing the entire house, officers are still unable to locate the source of the smell, so a canine unit is called in. If human remains are hidden somewhere on the property, this dog may be their best bet on finding them.
Come on, Ren
I got a big
1010.
whiff right in the laundry room.
Oh.
It smelled like just dead body.
All right, let's see what we get.
No worries.
That's not good. So that had none of the other behaviors that we're looking for. Keep checking. Okay, good girl.
Alarm. Front door.
And then that's the
These
attached
people are
garage.
strange.
Oh, can we go in there?
Yes.
How's that? Good girl. Did you guys do that or did?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't bring that in.
That's fine. You saw her go up the wall here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just checking odor. As I said, you've worked with Karen, so we didn't get final. And that was the kind of thing where it's like, I have some weird odor,
Yeah.
but it's not all of her behaviors, which was more what we had there. And of course, you and I both know there could be, you could have vacuumed up a tissue that had a bloody nose.
Yeah.
And that could be. Okay, good girl. Want a 20? It's not saying that you
Come
can't.
on, Ren 1010. Find it.
All right, that's all we got.
Somewhat surprisingly, the handler isn't fully convinced the dog has detected human remains. However, several indications suggest it has picked up on something suspicious, as it repeatedly returns to Marshall's room, sits in one spot while staring at its handler, and most alarmingly, begins clawing at the wall, a sign the odor may be coming from the attic. But even after multiple additional searches, and with more canine units brought
Get his
in,
ass.
officers are left with troubling yet inconclusive results. Small traces of blood, the presence of bleach and other cleaning supplies, and a missing shower curtain. Following these discoveries, officers secure the scene and begin working to obtain real-time location data for Marshall's phone, now fully suspecting they have a homicide on their hands.
Weeks.
Over the
Several
next
weeks
several
later.
weeks, officers are seemingly no closer to finding Marshall. Neither his mother nor his stepfather appear willing to cooperate any further. But every time the investigation seems like it's losing momentum, Alexis Gabe's family keeps pushing forward, pressuring police to find their daughter and bring her justice. That pressure soon begins to pay off when investigators finally obtain a real-time location warrant for Marshall's phone and discover he's moved to Vacaville, California, roughly an hour and a half from his home. After a quick check, they find out exactly where that location leads: his sister's house. So officers quickly head to her address, hoping to find Marshall there.
Lord, please don't tell me the sister involved too. You got a crazy ass mama, a crazy ass stepdaddy, and now we're talking about the sister too? Jesus.
What's your name?
Ariana.
Ariana. I'm James. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Obviously, you know why we're here, right?
I do. When he got here, he was off. While he was here, that's when I saw the first flyer for Alexis. And that's when I started putting the pieces together, what could be. I said, get your tomorrow, you gotta be gone. I want nothing to do with this. And his gun was underneath. I lost my
What was their relationship like between Alexis and Marshall?
So it got toxic over the last year and a half. He was a lot more torn up about them breaking up than about her being missing. I will say that, irrefutably. Looking back on it, my brother does have sociopath and narcissistic tendencies about himself.
Your mom and Marshall are close, right?
Yes.
Do you think that she's helped him out in any way?
Will she get in trouble?
I hope not. I mean,
What's going on, gamer? I'm not sure if the dog has really smelled anything at this particular point, but this is sad. Silly ass mama, silly ass stepdaddy. I don't know if the sister's going to be in cahoots with all of this bullshit.
hope in the end of all this, she'll be as cooperative as you are. Because ultimately, your brother made the choice that he made,
yes.
Right? So do you think he went to Vegas?
No. I believe this is the number that he's using. If you guys want to take it, that's fine.
Most worryingly for officers, Ariana seems to suspect someone else may be helping Marshall evade police. However, Ariana also gives them something significant, Marshall's new phone number. So after wrapping up the interview, investigators move quickly to track his location. This is when they discover that Marshall's phone is pinging all the way back to his mother, Alicia Clark's house.
Mama
Up to
crazy.
this point, Alicia has been telling police she doesn't know where Marshall is. Now, detectives begin to suspect she's lying and may even be actively hiding from police. Over the next few hours, police secure an emergency search warrant for Alicia's house. Officers rush to the location knowing full well Marshall could disappear again at any moment. But little do they know, the lead they're following is actually a setup.
Oakley police search warrant, come to the door! Hello?
Sorry, I was
That's okay. Let's open the door for me. Thank you.
Alright, ma'am, come
Step
on
out,
out,
please.
autistic daughter that sleep upstairs.
We understand.
Is she okay up there?
She's okay.
Are you able to...
Gamer, you absolutely correct. The parents are covering for these crazy motherfuckers. I don't understand it. David D4vd, his parents, you cannot tell me his parents didn't know. And now it looks like this fool's parents is trying to cover for him too. The crazy thing about it, that ain't even his real daddy. That's his stepdaddy. I'd have been like, oh no, you ain't about to get me involved in the BS.
Like for us to bring her out here for a minute while we service this warrant?
I'm not actually. Let me see what I can do.
Anybody else inside?
After escorting Alicia and her daughter outside, officers move in to search the house, but they find no one else inside. They do, however, spot a working camera outside the home, one they immediately begin trying to obtain a warrant for. Despite Marshall's absence, the forensics team insists that his phone is still actively pinging inside the house. By now, investigators know something isn't adding up. So they prepare to question Alicia, starting with the very reason they're here in the first place.
Where's the best place?
Get his ass.
Back here.
Talk to me. What's going on?
So we're obviously here for a reason, and there's a couple of reasons. We're here for Marshall's phone. So we know it's here, but we don't want to tear your house apart too much. So if you could direct us to it, so we don't have to
Tear it up, shit.
mess anything up. Like where is the phone?
It's upstairs in my closet in the green Hawaiian shirt. If you guys need it. Now I have a question. What do you guys need it for? You guys cloned it.
So the cell phone thing, they went and did the download, but some of the files got screwed up, so we don't have everything. So we need that, and plus we know that he's had the phone after that. So that's
She's covering for his ass.
Strangely, Alicia appears unusually cordial with the detectives, despite having her house breached. She's even admitted to holding a wanted suspect's phone, yet treats it as if it's nothing serious. By now, investigators are more than suspicious of her involvement. They're convinced she not only knows where Marshall is, but more importantly, what he did to Alexis.
So, so he's obviously not here, so you know where Marshall is?
Hand to God, I do not know.
This is
I
sad.
intentionally told him, do not tell me where you are. It's just the situation I don't want to know.
So you're distancing yourself.
Oh God, no, not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you is.
Not at all. I just know this isn't who we are. I mean.
And we don't believe that.
Yeah.
We just.
I better not.
We just.
You guys are just doing your job.
Right. We have to try our best to get answers, right? Yeah. So that's why we do this.
I'm definitely not distancing my son. I'm not.
Okay.
That's not the reason.
What do you know?
I know that the two of them had a solid relationship. I mean, for Valentine's Day, he wanted to get her an edible arrangement. I couldn't afford it. And so he went and got the chocolate, all of the stuff. He built her an edible arrangement.
I like that.
I mean, that's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah,
I've told him since he was younger, when you're dating, you want to make sure that you are so good to her that she's going to be comparing every other guy to you.
Right away, this description of Marshall doesn't quite align with what investigators believe about their suspect, especially given his sister's earlier claims that he's a narcissist and a sociopath. If Alicia is fully aware of her son's alleged crime, then defending his character like this is not only disturbing, it's something most people would find nearly impossible to do. Sensing this may be more difficult for her than she's letting on, detectives decide to shift their approach, appealing to her emotions, hoping that if this is all an act, it's about to break.
Because, I mean, obviously, we're still looking. She's still out there
She's
somewhere.
covering up for his ass.
And things don't look good.
Yeah, it's hard to look that family in the face and tell them, hey, look, we don't really have anything to tell you.
Have you guys thought about maybe she was human
trafficking?
I've heard
Mama,
that
stop.
some people posting stuff on the internet and stuff, but a lot of people they don't have a good grasp on how human trafficking works.
Right.
You can't just snatch up
Mama playing motherfucking games. You know what he did, and you hiding him out.
24-year-old, 170-pound female. I mean, I'm just going to be straight up with you. Do you think that Marshall had anything to do with this?
God, no.
Yeah, he did it.
No.
Allegedly.
Even if there's evidence that would suggest that he has something to do with it?
You guys would have to prove it beyond a reason.
Obviously.
Exactly, gamer. This woman is crazy than a motherfucker. She know what her son did, and she's hiding his ass out.
I don't want to leave you thinking that, for the lack of a better term, just...
I know. Oh, God, no. No, not at all.
There's a reason. I mean, I can only leave you with that. I can't like...
That's even saying too much. You tell me anything.
I don't want you to, like... To just, like I just said, I mean, we've been, both agencies here and the DA's office, we've all been working on this for 3 months now. We've looked every which way.
Despite the detective's best efforts, Alicia doesn't appear to budge. And the worst part is that her dismissive attitude seems to work.
She's sick too.
Although officers inside manage to locate Marshall's phone, they find it's been wiped completely clean. And with nothing concrete tying Alicia to the disappearance, investigators are once again forced to leave empty-handed. With no body, no confession, and no idea where Marshall may have gone, Alexis's case slowly starts going cold. Months go by, with no new leads on Marshall's whereabouts. But then, investigators finally secure a warrant and obtain the CCTV footage from his mother's house. And as detectives start analyzing the footage, they begin to understand how Marshall managed to stay one step ahead of investigators for so long. Inside these large plastic bags, investigators believe are Alicia's remains and
Oh my
suspect
God.
Marshall's mother was aware of it. Following
Jesus
these
Christ.
developments, investigators reach out to Marshall's sister and learn he has a friend at an apartment complex.
Gamer, how do people do this type of dumb shit? Somebody please help me. Why would you do something like this? You know your son has unalived this girl allegedly and chopped her ass up, and you had his ass out?
In Kent and may be hiding there. Using travel records, CCTV footage, and anonymous tips, they zero in on a specific location, the Skyview 3322 apartments. On June 1st, more than 4 months after Alexis Gabe disappeared, the task force moves in to serve a murder warrant and finally arrest Marshall. But as they arrive and prepare to breach, nothing about this operation is about to go as planned.
Get his ass.
I got that window. Open the door. Door slowly. Open the door. Do it now.
Open the door, shit.
Do it now.
Hey, John.
Open the door. Do it now.
Come out.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, came to the door with a knife.
After emerging with a kitchen knife, Marshall is shot multiple times by 3 officers.
Oh my God.
Despite immediate medical aid, he is pronounced dead at the scene. The following day, Paul Beard, chief of the Oakley Police Department, holds a press conference, announcing that Alexis Gabe's case is now officially being treated as a homicide, and that Marshall Curtis Jones had been charged with her murder before being shot and killed. But any real sense of closure for Alexis's family would not come until much, much later. On November 3rd, while metal detecting near Jackson Road in Plymouth, a local resident discovers what he believes to be human remains and immediately calls 911. When officers arrive, they're left speechless. Scattered across the mountains are the remains of a young woman.
Jesus
A forensic
Christ.
odontologist is brought in and, using dental records, confirms the remains are those of Alexis Gabe. In the aftermath, her family expresses a mix of devastation and relief. They
Rest in
continue
peace,
pushing for
baby girl.
charges against Marshall's mother and hold memorials in Alexis's honor. To this day, Alexis's family continues demanding justice and launching a petition criticizing the Contra Costa County District Attorney's Office for its handling of the case and calling for stronger accountability for victims.
Hold the fuck up. You blaming other people, but you knew that he had already threatened your daughter, and you allowed your daughter, especially her sister knew that she was going over there to break up with his ass. Okay? Somebody else need to take some blame.
Families. But despite these efforts, Marshall's mother is only temporarily
She's a
detained.
liar.
Without sufficient evidence, she is never charged as an accomplice. And the same is true for the rest of Marshall's relatives, something that continues to infuriate Alexis's family to this day. As of now, there is still no definitive motive for Alexis's murder,
Sad.
only that their relationship was deeply toxic. And perhaps, when Alexis finally decided to break up with him, Marshall made a final, irreversible decision. If he couldn't have her, then no one could.
Guys, thank you for watching. This is Kelly. I'm Kelly, K to the E double L-I-E. Kelly, that's me, from Why I Killed You TV.